T-Mobile is reportedly preparing to fire certain employees who aren't fully vaccinated by April 2nd. Civil rights attorney Brian Claypool joining me now on this. Brian, good to see you. First of all, the timing of this is so strange. I mean, just after or shortly after the Supreme Court announced the Biden administration would not succeed in imposing vaccine mandates on private companies. And by the way, just as the rest of the world is finally opening up and getting rid of their mandates in places like the UK and even places like Australia, T-Mobile's doubling down on this. Why?
Hey, David, good to see you. I hope I don't get bumped by The View. They're not going to comment on this one, are
Don't
they?
worry. You're safe.
Anyway, okay, good to hear. All right, look, there's a couple things here. These vaccine mandates are really no longer about red or blue. It's really about what's practical and what's safe. And you're raising a good point. One of the factors you have to look at on whether private employers can impose these vaccine mandates is, does the science support the vaccine mandate, right? So things have gotten better. Omicron is starting to dissipate. So why is T-Mobile doing this now? I mean, they're going to be challenged on this, and they're going to have to put up the data. For example, how many people are coming down with COVID? How many hospitalizations are there compared to how many people are in the towns where T-Mobile is? You've got to look at that data before you have this kind of mandate. And here's another issue too, David. The first thing you look at is whether these vaccine mandates violate employment laws. Most courts have said up until now, no. Why? Because the mandate has been universal. What did T-Mobile do here? They are allowing, like, if you go into their store, the customer service reps are not required to have a COVID vaccine, yet corporate employees working in the office are. I would argue that's a potential lawsuit based on what's called disparate treatment. You can't treat one employee different than the other. So they might be looking at litigation on that.
Good point. And by the way, they're also going to be facing massive labor shortages because a lot of people are just going to move on. There are plenty of competitors to T-Mobile where the labor force could move, particularly in the corporate level. So they may be shooting themselves in the foot. I quickly want to touch on what's happening with truckers, not only in Canada, but the truckers from Canada who try to come into the U.S. They have to deal with these Canadian vaccine mandates. Plus, in January 22nd, the U.S. initiated a vaccine mandate for Canadian truckers coming to the U.S. As many as 37% of truckers could be forced to either quit or could be fired. That could cause even more problems for our supply chain from Canada, from which we get a lot of our goods. What do you make of these mandates, these cross-border mandates?
Yeah, I mean, David, unfortunately the U.S. has the same mandate, right? So Canada has a similar mandate. So I think the mandate is safe. And again, just so your viewers know, it's not forcing people to get the vaccine. It's a decision they make to not get the vaccine. It's a condition of employment. But look, this border vaccine mandate also gives a 14-day quarantine if you're not vaccinated. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, look, I'm in L.A. We've got the Super Bowl coming here, right? We got hundreds of thousands of people coming here. A little nervous about all these people coming here that potentially have COVID. And I think that's the same kind of idea. Remember Novak Djokovic? He couldn't even get into Australia to play in that tennis tournament. So I think these border mandates are going to stay firm and they're going to be upheld, and you just have to live by the rule.
Oh, boy. Good luck in the Super Bowl, by the way. Congratulations. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, coming up,
thanks,
why
David.
the bail bonds industry.